Hello and welcome to BioRules video lessons. Today we are going to be talking about plastic. Plastic is a revolutionary material that in the 20th century changed everybody's life because the plastic can be moldable, so you can make innumerable things with it. Now it has many utilities and it's quite durable. However, the problem is that plastic has proven to be way too durable. Okay, to illustrate to you what's the problem with plastic, let me tell you the story of Moby Dick. Okay, in 1992, by the end of the 20th century, a boat let some containers containing 29,000 little rubber ducks fall from the boat near the coast of Japan, by the Sea of China. The problem is that those ducks, they float and they start going around. Okay, 15 years later, it managed to get to England. If you see here, these ducks actually have been used by science to map major gyres and currents all over the planet. So in 1994, 98, 2001, 2003, we had ducks arriving there on Alaska. 2003, they arrived there in England. The problem with plastic is that it's durable and it floats and it goes around. So what's the problem with floating plastic? One big problem of floating plastic is for animals, especially marine life. Birds, they see those plastics, colorful, bright shapes float in the water, and they get confused and they think that's food. So as a result, they end up eating those plastic, and that plastic gets stuck into their stomach. They don't manage to eat more, they get malnourished and they end up dying. This ball of plastic is what was found inside of one bird. This one bird found dead by the beach had all this plastic inside of its guts. If we take a look closer, you're going to be able to recognize many parts made of plastic that you use in your daily life. For example, here we have a lighter. Here, Coca-Cola bottle cap, and you have tiny pieces and big pieces and so on. This is a major, another lighter here, see? So this here is a major problem. It's such a big problem that the birds not even eat it, but sometimes even are capable, while it's still in the beginning of their digestive tracts, to spew it out and give it as food for their infants. And the infants get blocked with plastic and they don't manage to eat anymore. So they die of malnourishment. So that is a big problem. But another big problem related to plastic is that the plastic is very durable, but it breaks down. It doesn't decompose. Most plastics cannot be degraded. They cannot be decomposed in the sense they cannot be digested by detritivores or saprotrophs. So they cannot be digested by bacteria or fungi. They are only broken down into smaller and smaller pieces. And these smaller pieces, as we see here, this is what you call microplastic. They are tiny little pieces of plastic that end up breaking down and spreading all over the place. And the problem is that microplastic not only it ends up being eaten by the fauna in water, it's also biomagnified. One little fish eats a little bit of plastic, the big fish drinks the water with plastic and eats the little fish with plastic and you end up having lots of plastic in the end. So the problem is that you're going to be buying fish and you might be buying fish that's filled with plastic into their guts. Okay, so what's the problem of having plastic in the guts of fish? You clean the fish, don't you? Yes, but the problem is that you're going to have microplastic in your water. This here is water bottles. And this study here, have found that 90% of bottled water in the world contains microplastic. Okay, so Nestle, they have from 6 to 10,000 pieces of microplastic, okay, per liter of water. Okay, even the one in Brazil here, Minauba, it has something between 0 and 863 pieces of microplastic per liter. 325 is the average number per liter of water that's sold all over the place. So you're going to be drinking water, bottled water, the water that you think should be mineral, should be totally trustable. You are drinking water with microplastic. Okay, what's the problem with this microplastic? One, microplastics may release some nasty chemicals. For example, BPA. BPA is a chemical that's used in plastic to make it harder and to make it transparent. So many bottles, they contain BPA, and BPA got famous a few years ago because it's similar to the female hormone, and it makes female sterility. Females start having problems to get pregnant because of this chemical here. We have others. You have phthalates, you have BPDEs, you have other chemicals that may be or PCBs, also plastic, okay, styrenes, PAH, those might be released by plastic. But what's even more worrying is that the microplastic have a gigantic surface area to volume ratio. The volume is very small and has quite a big area to such a small volume. As a result, it ends up also retaining on its surface chemicals that itself didn't produce. So when you get a microplastic, you may find mercury on it. You may find copper or lead or DDT. So many chemicals that are in water, they tend to get concentrated in this microplastic. And you are drinking water that contains microplastic, that contains those nasty chemicals. Not only that, you are eating fish that ate zooplankton with microplastic and biomagnified it along the food chain. And when you eat that fish, although you clean the guts, you are going to be eating a fish that has suffered through its entire life the action of many chemicals like these guys here, and that will be in your food. So that's why plastic should be one big concern for all of us. If you want to know more about plastic pollution and how this is becoming a gigantic problem, I suggest this Kurzgesagt video. Plastic will be a big problem in the future. It's estimated that in a few decades there will be a bigger biomass of plastic in oceans than there is fish in the oceans. Okay? I also suggest you watch this movie, A Plastic Ocean. You can see in many of the streams. Get a tissue because you're going to see it's a nasty impact. Okay, you watch this and I guarantee you're going to start being more careful with plastic, and I hope you start getting more forward in reducing the use of plastic. Okay, one thing that we can do is to reduce at most as you can, or even avoid at all, single-use plastic. Single-use plastic, it shouldn't exist. There are other ways for us to deal with our food or stuff that's not from single-use plastic. And, of course, recycle. That would be very important. Okay? Take a box of Kleenex when you're watching the Plastic Ocean because, yes, it is absurdly sad. Okay? There are a few questions here for you to answer and see if you manage to learn anything from this lesson. Okay? See you in the next video. Bye-bye.